Fox News alert, Homeland Security just launched an investigation into former FBI Director James Comey for threatening to 86 President Trump. Comey posted this picture of seashells spelling out 8647, claiming he just ran into him on the beach. Comey says he knew it was a political message, but didn't know what 86 meant. Tulsi Gabbard's the director of national intelligence. Are you buying that the former FBI director didn't know what 86 Trump meant?
Absolutely not, Jesse. That is a ridiculous and insane statement to make, certainly within this context, but especially coming from a guy who's the former director of the FBI, a guy who spent most of his career prosecuting mobsters and gangsters, people who know and execute other humans and use this exact lingo of 86. Comey himself admitted in his follow-on message that he knew that this was a political statement. Well, the only reason he knew that, Jesse, was because a little over a month ago, a bunch of anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk protesters were proliferating the use of this 8647 slogan, which was a veiled call to action to murder the sitting president of the United States. So for Comey to think that we, the American people, are so stupid as to think that he, as a former FBI director, former prosecutor, and someone who clearly pays attention to what's going on, would believe his lie that he didn't know what this actually was calling for. The dangerousness of this, Jesse, cannot be underestimated. When we have 2 assassination attempts on the president's life, when we have people who look to guys like Comey, who've been celebrated by MSNBC and the Democrat elite and CNN as the beacon of integrity, the law and order guy, the guy who would tell the truth no matter what the consequences. This is the guy who's issuing a hit on President Trump, the president that the American people voted for. So it's guys like Comey and others who call the president the modern-day Nazi, people who are in great positions of influence, who are saying that President Trump poses an existential threat to our country. These are people who hate democracy and hate the American people because they cannot stand that the people overwhelmingly chose to elect Donald Trump and send him back to the White House. So they are seeking other means to get their way and to try to remove him from that position.
How serious is the administration taking this, and what are the next steps going to be?
We're taking this very seriously. As you mentioned, the Department of Homeland Security, and specifically Sean Curran, the current Secret Service director, a man who has been willing to lay down his life as the lead of President Trump's Secret Service detail for years now. He takes this seriously and is leading the investigation into this threat. There has to be accountability for this. There was a Rutgers study that just came out a little over a month ago, Jesse, that asked respondents their view on these calls to assassinate President Trump. And over 55% of respondents felt that murdering President Trump would be, quote unquote, somewhat justified. This is the effect of people like James Comey doing this kind of stuff. This study also pointed out that there is a quote unquote assassination culture that is starting to take over the views of what they call the extreme left. We, the American people, cannot take this lightly. Whatever your politics, we cannot allow people to get by without being held accountable for this kind of public call to assassinate the President of the United States.
Do you believe that Comey is goading you guys to come after him because he wants to be a political martyr? He wants to be set up so he can say, oh, look, we were right. Donald Trump is a dictator. They're coming after me. They're arresting me. They're interrogating me. I was just using my free speech.
You know, whatever his intent, I will tell you that there is a guy in Georgia who is issuing threats on my life about a month ago, and he's in jail today. He has been indicted with a crime, as he should have been, and he is in jail as we speak. So whatever James Comey intent, he and people like him need to be held to account according to the law, which is something that he claims to have given his life for and stands by the rule of law. Fantastic. The rule of law says people like him who issue direct threats against the President of the United States, essentially issuing a call to assassinate him, must be held accountable under the law.
Do you believe Comey should be in jail?
I do. Any other person with the position of influence that he has, people who take very seriously what a guy of his stature, his experience, and what the propaganda media has built him up to be, I'm very concerned for the president's life. We've already seen assassination attempts. I'm very concerned for his life. And James Comey, in my view, should be held accountable and put behind bars for this.
Director Gabbard, thank you so much.
All right, so let's go first to the veracity of this issue, Jesse, of the potential. I don't know about you, but I have never once, and I've walked down the beach a lot, I have never in my life come upon a political statement on the beach made out of sea life. So I find this to be a bit too coincidental. Put up this one. There's another one on his Instagram feed as well. This one, another blue painted shell that he found in October of 2024 when he was walking down the beach. Vote Harris. And he posted this as well. And he said, Ariel understands the assignment.
I don't know if he made it or not. He obviously was trying to put a hit out on Trump, got caught, deleted it, and he's got a book out. Oh, what a coincidence. Any cop, any prosecutor knows the code for homicide. 8-6 isn't just a mafia slang, it's a military slang. 8-6, T-O, and a rotary phone. He was a Marine. He obviously knew what he was doing here. And he's not just any old FBI director, Martha. He tried to frame this guy for treason. Remember, he spied on his campaign. He got caught, got fired, leaked, and then ran away from Durham so he wouldn't have to answer any questions. He has called Trump a dangerous threat to the country who should be punished for the things he says. Now, I don't know if this guy wants attention for the book. And by the way, the book is about right-wing extremists who launch a terror attack in Manhattan, or if he wants to be arrested, because his life sucks. He's lost all his respect. No one likes him. And he's probably dying and goading the administration to put him in handcuffs because that's all he really has anymore going for him. This man has set the Democrats back again. Everybody with common sense knows what this guy meant. Just like we knew it was MS-13 on the knuckles, Jessica. Everybody knows 86-47. So the whole country sees this, and then they lie about it. And then this is the guy that weaponized the entire Justice Department against President Trump. And it just reminds everybody the lengths the Democrats will go to lie. Meanwhile, Trump, he's trying to make peace. And this guy's calling for his head. I hope the Secret Service knocks on his door at his little beach house and pays him a visit, because this can't stand. After 2 attempts on Trump's life, you can't take this lightly.
Greg, what do you think should happen?
I don't know. Look, he went to the beach because he's all washed up. The thing I like is how the dying media is portraying this story as conservatives pounce on this. Oh, my God, they're making it out into something it really isn't. You guys invented the pounce. You know, Elon Musk makes a salute. You spent a week on that, talking about how that was Hitlerian and how all Trump supporters were Nazis. The only exercise the media gets is by pouncing. So we're going to pounce a little. The people who pounce every day on every little thing Trump has said and created hoaxes off nothing, do not lecture us on blowing things out of proportion. There's so many people whose identity is tied forever to Trump, but it's their choice. It's not like Trump spends his life thinking about this chuckle nut. This guy has Trump on the brain all the time. Trump has created a legion of people whose brains are somehow broken. And I said this, I think, yesterday. If the filter that you have to see life constantly has you waking up with disappointment and bitterness, you should probably change your filter. You know, Jesse?
Yes.
Someone once said, holding on to a grudge is like drinking poison, hoping it kills the other person. I think it was either Nelson Mandela or Ryan Seacrest. But you see this among never Trumpers. The first thing they do every morning is they drink the poison. You know? And by the way, I don't begrudge Democrats. Politics is a team sport, so your guy lost, you don't like the guy who won. This guy is definitely stuck with a broken Trump brain. And when you're on the beach making little stones, you got a problem. You look at like Bill Maher. When Bill Maher went to visit Trump, there's one thing you knew. both of them felt a little emotionally lighter afterwards. There's something about doing that that makes you feel better. You got to let go of these crazy. I mean, I don't care. He can do whatever he wants. He can write my name in stones. I don't give a damn. But he's just ruining his own mind and his own life.
Proliferate. Fake news tends to proliferate during election seasons. Veiled. She gave a veiled warning about the consequences of breaking the rules. Goad. His constant teasing was meant to goad her into reacting. Martyr. Many consider him a martyr who sacrificed everything for freedom. Veracity. The journalist questioned the veracity of the politician's statement. Washed up. After a few failed movies, the actor was considered washed up. Portray. The movie portrays the struggles of immigrants in a new country. Pounce. The cat waited patiently before it pounced on the mouse. Blowing things out of proportion. The media is blowing things out of proportion about the celebrity scandal. Legion. Fans of the band are legion all over the world. Grudge. He still holds a grudge against his former business partner. Begrudge. I don't begrudge her success, she worked hard for it.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.